Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my bowl of water off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this reading. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. We have Chamber of Surrender. There's something here that we're having to surrender to. It's almost like understanding that the flow of life is going in a direction that maybe we didn't necessarily want it to, whether it's our entire life or if it's a particular situation, and allowing ourselves to surrender to the process that it's trying to take. Okay. And here we have High Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? And protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. This really feels like someone, it's like, oh, very interesting. Okay, so there's a job that we have to do. Whoever this message is for, it's like you know that you have a job that you need to do. Whether that's literal, maybe it's at work, or maybe it's just on a soul level, maybe it's here, right? Maybe you have a goal, maybe you have a dream, maybe you have something that you feel is your purpose or your mission. We have to surrender to some process that's happening in the rest of our life in order to untangle our energy to be able to focus on this. This is why this protection card is coming out on the opposite of this. This is really highlighting a sense of protection. By letting go, we're actually protecting ourselves. Okay, so if there's something here that you feel that you're holding on to, or you're trying to force the outcome, or you're trying to, you know, make it go your way, or whatever the case is, it's really time to let that go. It doesn't mean you have to let the situation go. It means you have to let that expectation go and focus more on yourself, because there's other places where your energy is needed at this time. Okay, Inner Summer and Chamber of Power. Yeah, we have two cards here that are talking about calling back your power. This is really accessing a deep well of power that's within us. Some of you may be noticing that you're having like vibration energy, or like a little bit of a pulsating in your sacral chakra area. This is not tied necessarily to like feelings of arousal. People always want to take the sacral chakra that way, and it's fine if it is. It's fine if it is. I'm not saying that. It's just I feel that people really limit it. There's something here in terms of allowing yourself consciously to be the high priestess of an indwelt deity, okay? And we could think of this deity, for example, you can think of this as like the ultimate self, or the true self. There's something within your true self that is requiring you to protect it by surrendering to a situation, rather than empowering the ego here into this control matrix. It's like we have to be in the surrender energy in order to allow our conscious ego to turn away from the fight, to be the high priestess that it came here to be, or the high priest, whichever way you resonate, and allow this indwelt power to rise up. And I feel that there is something that's going on. I feel that a lot of you have actually reached this place of what is it? Chamber of Surrender, that's right. And you may be experiencing this inner summer right now. You may be generating a lot of ideas, a lot of creativity. Maybe it is for you, it's a very sexual energy. You may be having those experiences as well. I'm not trying to downplay that, right? This is not to downplay that at all. It's just to bring like a different view to it. I think we miss the other side of it sometimes. With the inner summer, you may also be feeling like, hey, like I feel a little bit more enthusiastic about my life. Or maybe there's times that you don't, and you're recognizing things that need to change so that you can become more enthusiastic about your life. Summer's a very complex energy, right? Winter's awesome. I love winter. It's very sleepy. It's very quiet. And you know, with winter, it's like things go dormant, and they recharge and they rest. And you know, they allow the cold to like rejuvenate them. And in this inner summer, it's that inner heat that's rejuvenating somebody. So anything fiery that you can think of, this may be an energy that you're experiencing right now that you must surrender to in order to be rejuvenated. So if you're feeling the anger, allow yourself to sit with the anger. Don't act, right? This isn't about acting. Sometimes we act so that we don't have to feel. And it's important to allow yourself to feel this, because it's the feeling and how it changes your chemistry and how it works with your brain that is allowing this energy to rise up through you. Okay. And this is all about don't dim to fit in. When we are engaged in the battles that I'm seeing is kind of like pulling at her shoulders, right? So the things that we expected, that we hope work out a certain way, or the petty arguments that people are trying to bring to us, or the ways that we try to navigate things to keep ourselves safe. When we do that, what we're really doing is we're keeping ourselves small. This is an energy where someone is moving out of that smallness, right? That humanness, which there's nothing wrong with being human, that's why we're here. But they're moving out of that lower human vibration in order to step into the higher human vibration of tending to something that is of a higher caliber. And when we do that, our energy is not small, right? Your energy is massive. You have massive reach. Whether you get on social media and you do the thing, or if you just live your life, it's like when we are embodying this energy here, people around you can't help but notice there's something different. And I feel that whoever this message is for, you definitely have this something different. It's time to step into it. Some of you, you're not engaged in any kind of control war or any of that. It's almost like the control war is within, right? Maybe it's the voice that tells you that you're not good enough to be able to do something. Maybe it is the energy that you have combated, that you're just a poser here. Or maybe it's like, I feel like a lot of people, when you are someone who has something to say, there's an entire layer that you might go through to actually step into the high priestess energy for that vibe, right? It's like you have to go through the naysayers of self inside yourself before you cross over into that energy. And I remember when I first started doing readings, I was in my early 20s. It was probably 2021, something like that. And I remember I didn't believe in myself because I didn't know if I could. I had actually never given anybody a reading. So I put these readings on, back then it was MySpace, and I offered free readings, and I had like 5 for the first day that I did it, and then I had 6 the next day. And by the 3rd day I was like, okay, I have to charge for this because the feedback was so good. And I had already been like way into magic and shamanism and things like that for most of my life. So I was just always a magical person. So I knew that I could get it quickly. I didn't know that I just could do it. And even though I had that history and that background and the ability to just do it, it was years before I would sit down for a reading and not kind of have an internal freak out. So if you're somebody who's going through that, just know it happens to most of us. I'll say most of us. I won't say all of us. It happens to most of us. And just allow yourself to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. It's okay. It's okay to not get everything right. It's okay to not have that expectation on yourself, because that's an unrealistic expectation. I'm wrong all the time. It's awesome. Let yourself be wrong. Don't take it so seriously. And by stepping into this energy and allowing yourself to surrender to whatever it is that you feel that your calling is, this is where your energy body is really going to expand. Some of you are experiencing this right now. You may be, for example, experiencing higher senses of intuition. You may be feeling that things are speaking to you. You may be feeling that parts of self are speaking to you a little bit more loudly. And yes, okay, 2 more. In the process of this energy waking up, it's like there's certain chains that may have held us back, and they won't stay. They can't stay. So be prepared for things to exit your life that don't belong there anymore. Okay, be prepared for some change. Here we have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, so seeding light, laying foundations, divine plan. And this is what I feel. I feel that somebody right now, you're laying the foundations for whatever was meant for you. I usually don't use that terminology because I feel that we're the ones that decide what's meant for us, but it's coming across to me that way, so I'm going to use it. You're laying foundations for whatever it was that was meant for you. There's some sort of destiny involved in this, like a destined path or something that you were always meant to do. It's like your particular makeup or your particular signature here, in your particular timing and being birthed within the pattern was always going to take you here. And it's just time now, okay? Okay, so I'm going to pull 2 cards here and here. Okay, twisted narrative. You've been clinging to a version of events that lets you stay angry, stay right, or stay stuck. And that story is your cage. So I feel that goes up here with the surrender card for someone. And then here it's unhealed history. And I want to say one other thing about that. Sometimes the reason why we're in this energy, it's not because you're small and you're petty or whatever, this might sound like. Sometimes it's because we're so hurt. It's because we're so hurt that we have to protect the vulnerability, which causes us to want someone else to acknowledge us or to validate us, or for justice to be had before we're able to recognize certain things. So this energy here, this will keep you stuck. Okay. Here we have unhealed history. What you haven't healed keeps looping until it's faced, and it's not going to vanish with time alone. Okay. And I feel that that goes over the protection. Okay. So allowing ourselves to really protect ourselves from getting involved in the story again, allowing ourselves to not be within some sort of cycle here that our ego identity is trying to step out of, to really align with its highest version of self. Okay. 2 more. Okay. So this doesn't feel like it's going to resonate for everyone. I feel like there's messages coming through for people that are aligning with these 2 cards. We have rooted rage. You're not unhealed for feeling angry. What if your rage is here to restore your boundaries and not destroy your peace? And I think that's a really good point. Okay. Sometimes our anger is the biggest indicator of our intuition in terms of information that we're not allowing ourselves to see. So I don't see that this person is wrong for me, or I've ignored a lot of red flags, or this person's taking my time and energy and I'm not necessarily aware of that because I have bad boundaries. So what happens? I get mad at them for no reason and I don't know why. So this may be an indicator for somebody that there may be something there to examine. Here we have projections. Not everything you feel is fact. Sometimes your mind is filling in blanks with stories. And this feels a little bit like it's one of the reasons why it's important not to get back into the cycle, because ultimately us allowing the cycle, if you find that this grouping here is about a cycle, is us allowing ourselves to get pulled back into the story. And the reason why that's so harmful is because the story is a narrative, right? We're basically allowing the narrative back in. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, there's definitely okay. Fact checked. A faulty belief system will still feel true if it's never been challenged. How much of your truth is based on secondhand stories and emotional statistic? And this is the chain that we're breaking. We're allowing ourselves to step away from the smallness that people have given us. That may be the reason why we have to surrender to the fact that, hey, I am able to do this, or this is who I am. It may be that, we've had a lot of people tell us that, you have to be, you have to, get married at 20, have 2.5 kids, have a college education, and fit this neat little box that they wanted for you. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, although if you have 2.5 children, please seek help. This is more of kind of like an indicator that it's like you don't have to be the things that you're told that you had to be, and just because you're not those things doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you the way that you've been told. So I really like this because it's the perception of self based on intuition even that's changing here. Here we have silenced, which goes hand in hand with that. The fear of conflict is choking your growth. Let the discomfort come, let the truth breathe. When you step into this energy, like I said, right, this isn't a small energy, it's a very big energy. And when we step into this energy, we're going to say things that piss people off, because you can't make everybody happy, right? You can't make everybody happy. You can't speak to everybody's beliefs and everybody's like sensitivities and their delicacies, and you can't do that. And doing that is the way that you stay small. And expect that, right? When you actually step into your power and you actually step into the energy, everybody and their mother is going to have something to say about it. It can't be about them. This is about you. This is about you and what you know you need to do, okay? Everyone else can get out of your way. So here we have avoiding pain. You've been sedating your soul with distractions and denial, but deep healing demands presence, not escape. So I'm not going to clarify that one. I'm going to leave this here. If this resonates with you, feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And I wish you the best of luck with this energy. I think that there's some very big things on the horizon. Even though these are kind of like shadow work cards, these are just things to consider. It doesn't mean that this is a negative reading at all. I think this entire reading is extremely positive. Someone is definitely stepping into their power, and they're stepping into the thing that they know that they need to do for themselves. The message is just surrender. Okay, so until next time.